And so, granted, keeping in mind, as I've said, I
Uh-huh.
only read the headlines. I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive President Obama for appointing Tommy Sotomayor to the goddamn Supreme Court. I mean, what was he thinking?
I mean, well, sometimes we do these intros and like I'm totally on board, and then sometimes I feel like I just had an immediate stroke. Like it comes out of nowhere. Like cause Nick doesn't tell me most of the
I
time what he's
try.
about to say. Sometimes you do. Sometimes
That's
you
true.
do.
Most of the time, I don't.
But most
Most
of
of
the
the time.
time he doesn't.
Well, it's because most of the time I don't have anything in mind until you say go, and then I come up with something.
And then it just
I mean,
like
I
it
finish.
hits.
I finish a hilarious joke, which one of these days will go on time so you guys can all catch the full joke.
That's one of the things I like the
Promise.
best about it too, is because whatever we start the show with is like the end of a joke that nobody hears the setup for, so none of it actually makes it's so non sequitur. But like there are times like tonight when you start going and I'm like, oh, am I stroking out right now? What the fuck did he just say?
Oh, I mean, in fairness, I was actually thinking, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll run it by. Wait a second, hang on. Oh, it's time to go now. Okay, let's just see where this goes.
Woo!
So that was fun.
Fuck me. Welcome everybody to the YouTube Saints. How you doing? It's Friday. Hope you're feeling fantastic. I feel great. Are you do you feel great? Do you love black people?
Uh, what are we just going to invoke everyone's name tonight?
Do you love black
Uh,
people?
of course, I love Knucklee's in the chat. How can I not?
What up, Nucka?
Yeah.
So you love black
Um,
people?
it's been all right. Yet another roast and some shitty bread last night, and had a quick visit from Anna Hot of Hearts, who may be in the stream, and I'm not sure if she's going to join us. She's hanging out with Palette Beard down in Boston. It's hopefully going to be
Oh,
a big meetup, but I belong to you. Not you.
Boston,
Not you,
Boston.
but all of you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I
Boston.
want to be your stepdad, and I'm going to prove that I'm worth it.
Let's go outside and throw the ball around.
Let me just take this tie down. Look disgruntled about the job, and that dickhead manager just doesn't appreciate things. And I'll talk to you when I'm done with my PBR.
Listen, I want to hear all about that kid that's bullying you in school and why you're having trouble with math and you just don't quite get it and also don't really quite feel like yourself. Why don't you tell me all about it, sport?
Yeah, it's like all right, listen, you understand I'm 37, right? It doesn't mean we can't bond as father and son. Yeah, see,
That's
that's the
right.
best kind. That's the best kind of stepdad, the one you get when you're middle-aged.
Uh, oh, fuck. He's like younger than you, you know?
Yeah, mom's got herself a trophy husband, except it's clearly a discount trophy for a town fair talent show.
Hopefully, she's not doing it for easy access to drugs.
Best hog collar in the whole county. That's how
Listen,
she won that, man.
there is nothing worse than a drug dealer with low self esteem. It's really sad. It's really, really, really sad. A drug dealer with low self esteem is just the saddest fucking thing in the world. Like, the dude, he's pushing out fucking pounds of fucking raw coquina all the fucking time. Could probably, if he applied himself, be able to bang hot ass bikini babes every fucking weekend. But no,
Oh,
low self esteem. So he shacked out with Brenda. Brenda, the 48-year-old fucking waitress from the Denny's down the block. And you're like, why do you. I mean, Brenda's happy. I mean,
participation trophy husband, yes.
hmm.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean on the other hand, I'd like to offer a counterpoint, a rebuttal, if you will, on that notion. I personally love drug dealers with self-esteem issues because if it's hard enough manipulating a girlfriend in a terrible relationship by saying you could just go out and find someone else, but if you
True.
can do it and get a discount on your cocaine, then you're winning.
Okay, you've converted me. All right. No, I think I'm on board with this one, actually.
Mm-hmm.
As long as there's no Brenda and you can just see everything falling apart in
I'll be
slow
honest with you.
motion, I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm
It's
in.
kind of retarded.
The emo drug dealer. He gets his life turned around when someone's like, no, 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 don't cut yourself, stab yourself.
I guess the real friends were all the drugs we did along the way. Wait, what?
I think we learned a lesson here. What was it? I don't know. It's all blur.
Cut it with baking soda, not rat poison. That's what we learned.
It's like, why do you have all of this baby
I'll be
formula?
honest with you.
Well, my wife's son, for one thing.
I'm kind of retarded.
Also, this cocaine.
Also, this cocaine. By the way, cocaine cut with baby powder. No, don't do that. We can tell.
Yeah, don't cut your cocaine at all. Respect your customer.
Well, hang on though. Like raw processed cocaine is not something you want to snort. That's a terrible idea. That's
Tell me what to do.
No, that's a bad idea. Actually, 100% pure fucking cocaine can make your fucking heart stop. You gotta cut it a little bit. Yes, this is real. This is fucking 100% real.
No, I'm sorry. I was confused by the chat because Knuckle is saying Chuck. Oh, he's saying Chuck me a follow. I thought you were saying Chuck followed you, which is why you were reminded that the show was tonight. Sorry, Knucka. I was like, who's
I've always
Chuck?
been a pain in the arse to get. I am actually really difficult to get a hold of. I am sorry about that, but
I'm not.
just-
Nobody
yeah.
tries, says okay. It all comes out in the wash when I can afford to do the wash.
It all comes out in the wash. Look, listen, you know, we're all just a bunch of people traveling on spaceship Earth. But, you know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, all our problems, all of our hatred and bigotry, it all comes out in the wash.
That's right.
The
And so
fuck did that come from?
I'm not entirely sure, but I would just like to use this opportunity after that affirmation of our common humanity to say, Ian Ziering, I forgive you.
I have been so fucking drunk the past 2 days. It's absolutely ridiculous. I went and saw Endgame this morning.
Oh, you know, yeah. I heard it was really good because Brie Larson got 2 whole days on set.
Okay, no, what? I can help out a couple of things that people are kind of
No
leery
spoilers.
of. No spoilers. I'm not gonna give you guys any spoilers. I promise. Because honestly, I was pretty sure going into it thinking that I knew how they were going to address everything, and I was completely wrong. And I'm an old school comic fan and an old school movie critic, so I really did think that I knew what was going to happen. I was totally wrong. Caught me by surprise. The way they handle the movie, I think, is really good. I was very satisfied as not only a Marvel fan, but a movie fan and a superhero movie fan. I think they did a great job. It is not like Infinity War because Infinity War was a everything in Marvel. This is very much an Avengers movie. For, 75% of it is the Avengers, and then like the rest of Marvel, at one point it becomes bigger. The scope becomes bigger near the end.
Oh.
There is one scene that every dumpy, pasty, bearded, fat fucking white dude who makes reaction videos constantly on a day-to-day basis is going to milk for fucking videos for the next 5 weeks.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And it's a scene where it is very overt and slightly cringy of, yay, girls! And it lasts about 1.5 minutes, and that's it. That's it. And it's not bad. It doesn't take anything away from the movie. It's just, I'm watching it and I'm like, I can literally hear them complaining about it right now while I'm watching this. And it's making me mad. And then it's over. Like at 90 seconds and then it goes back to just the regular movie. Like it's fine. It's totally fine. But it's going to happen. And you will see it. And I'm calling it here. Screenshot this or save this clip. Clip this.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now.
This is the best part of the show. You guys, everyone should just go home now anyway. I'm pretty happy though that I was able to actually write a semi-factually ticker line down there in that spoilers for Endgame. Yeah, someone saw Josh Brolin having lunch, so we know Thanos survives.
Shut up.
I do. Well, no, I do like though the fact that like this. So they kill all the characters. And I haven't seen Endgame yet. I probably won't be able to for a while, which is fine because I'm really good at both ignoring things people say and completely forgetting that they said them to me.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note,
I will say 100%. It's worth seeing in the theater. And they do a really good job. They do a really, really good job. I'm not going to be like, it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was good. It was good.
You know what? You know what they
want.
need. What I can't help but think that they need to do a little better job with, though, is trying to keep things under wraps. Because so in Infinity War, you have all these characters die. It's real emotional, all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not supposed to know what to expect from Endgame, except then they announce Guardians of the Galaxy 4 and the new Spider-Man movie. Like,
no, look, here's the thing. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. But if anybody watched Infinity War and thought like,
I'm kind of retarded,
these people are not going to come back, then you're an idiot. Of course, the whole goal of it was to try and get the people who Thanos snapped away to come back. So, obviously, everybody expected that in Endgame this is going to be addressed. But here's the thing. What you don't want in a series, when you have this kind of thing going on, what you don't want is them to be like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Like, well, we're just going to make everything okay again, and it didn't matter. That's not what happens. What happened happens, and it has lasting, real, severe, straight-up consequences. They did not shy away from it. They didn't MacGuffin the whole thing. They didn't fuck it up. They did it really, really good. Really good. It's a good movie, and you should probably go see it.
I plan to. Now, Dieter desperately wants you to check your Twitter.
Fine. Yeah. I asked if you wanted to come and hang out with us on the show tonight.
Maybe that's what this whole Twitter business is about. I don't know. No, I mean it looks like an exciting film, and I'm glad. You know, actually, like it's been funny because we get these when the shows you like go off the air for the season, right? And in those like dull times where they just where the studios just sort of release the films that like they've had on the shelf for a while because they don't have anything else to put out. Like it gets kind of like I'm like, oh, I got nothing, no entertainment to really look forward to. But I mean, so now we got Endgame. The Deadwood movie is coming out at the end of next month.
Oh yeah. I forgot there's gonna be a Deadwood movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Game of Thrones is seems I've been enjoying it. It's so that's back. Yeah, so it's been it's nice. It's like, yay, I have distraction from the existential dread which follows me every other moment of my life. But in the meantime, I can go see Avengers, which is kind of what the MCU was invented to do. But it is kind of terrifying, though, to also know that Disney is soon going to own X-Men as well, which means, I mean, how many times can Earth blow up or be attacked? Like people in that kind of universe, everyone would just be bored, right?
Right.
Terribly bored.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It would be like One Punch Man, actually. It'd be a lot like, which also is another show which is back now, which I'm happy about. Because I have the opposite problem of Saitama. Saitama's problem is that he's like achieved the maximum level of success with his ambitions, and there's nothing left for him to go for. And I just realized that I can't get past where I'm stuck now, so I might as well not bother. But really, if we were in the same room at the same time, it would be really strange because he's a cartoon character.
We're talking about One Punch Man?
Yeah, well, I was happy that's back too.
Oh.
Yeah, and yes, Brainwash. Yeah, Deadwood. The series isn't coming back, but HBO has made a film, like a full film, to sort of give us the finality we were all kind of desiring and deserving.
Yeah.
And if you know the true history to some of the characters, like Swearingen was a real person. Deadwood was a real place.
Right.
Swearingen's story, you can look it up if you want. I mean, it's not even spoiling anything because you should already know this if you've seen the show, but it doesn't end well. Now, I don't know if they go into that in the show because it happens years after his time in Deadwood, but it's fun.
Addy Monster says, first, also, Jeff can be my daddy and Nick can be my stepdaddy for when Daddy Jeff has too much grown-up grape juice and puts another arrow in the garage and I need to get out there for a little while before the weird DDLG CPS shows up to take me away.
ELCG. What the fuck?
DDLG CPS? Oh my god. Wow. I mean, really, the only thing that is gonna I'm not gonna keep going on that one. I just no.
Probably for the best. Yeah.
I'm just gonna shut up. Dragon of the West says, "Nice Jesse Lee Peterson opening." Speaking of black people, are you guys going to have Hannibal and Monty on in the future? I still haven't gotten a chance to really get acquainted with them yet. I really want to. What I think I want to do, I'll probably just message Ben and see if he'll have me or Nick on with Hannibal and Monty on a DP. So we just get to like hang out with them, like on a place where they usually thrive. And then if we get along with them, then try and drag them onto the show, because Hannibal and Monty are hilarious.
Yeah, that's how we got Cinema Snob on here. You know, it's like, you know, I'm turning what was just a sort of hobby of poaching things from drunken peasants into a real science.
That's like the only that's the only way the show works anymore.
I wouldn't go that far, Jeff. I mean, does it really work?
Chinese Nazi Germany says, remember that Andy Worski stream? You got some religion? Yeah, nah, don't bring that shit around here. We on that cultural genocide shit. It's 2019. We feeling that lean. You about to get it if you kneel the Mecca around here. And that was from Addy. What the fuck, Addy? That feel when a drunken dude, bro, that tried to fight a mildly retarded Canadian edgetard totally called the cultural oppression of the Chinese government. Holy shitting fuck, I can't handle it. Prophetic Jim Dog predicts Uyghur cultural genocide. Uyghur cultural genocide. Yami No Tension says, remember Dieter, I am Yami, who uses a siren-like voice to lure all beings into debauchery and fun times. All bow before me. Let me see if I can get Dieter in here real quick.
Yay! Look at that.
Yeah, let me see if he's on yet.
It's almost like back when when we started the show, when all of you people liked it, and we'd have a segment before we brought the guest on, pretending that we were Bill Maher.
I remember that. Yeah, I totally remember that. We're trying to call it. We're trying to call it Dieter.
Yeah. Bar has stoppers.
That didn't work.
Yeah.
No.
That's right, Nib Dub. God damn.
Woo wee.
Oh, get Count Dracula on the show. Just tell him I asked him. You know, I know it's insensitive to say, but part of me kind of can't help but think that's like, wow, yeah, I just tell him I ask him. Yeah, what? Are you speaking pigeon?
Count Dracula. That is, I know who that is. It's a porn artist on Pornhub. It's not Dankula though.
Oh, because I love having Dankula on. The problem is, it's just when his Discord decides that the funniest thing on earth is shit coming out of a human being. Well,
that's comedy gold, man. That's comedy fucking gold right there. Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
I still love the fact though that like when it's this thing, like when people try to raid our Discord with like weird fucked up shit, and then everyone's like, "Oh, hi, new friend." We have room for that. We were ready. Good times. So is Dieter having problems with this?
I don't know. I tried adding him. I'm asking him if he got the invite. What we'll do is we'll just go ahead as if everything is working according to plan, and we will talk about Dune. Dune. The new Dune is coming soon. Denis Villeneuve is absolutely happening. Dave Bautista is going to be the Beast Reborn. Who is it that's going to play Gurney Halleck?
It kind of escaped me.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'll just look it up now.
Okay.
Because I know there's let's see, Dune casting. So yeah. Oh, okay. So Timothy Chalamet is playing Paul Atreides. Duncan Idaho's by Jason Momoa.
Right.
Zendaya, don't know who that is, but she's playing Chani. Lady Jessica, Rebecca Ferguson. Oh, Gurney Halleck, Josh Brolin. See,
that's right.
Proof that Thanos survives.
Thanos is going to be Gurney fucking Halleck.
Actually, that's pretty. Well, actually, they're not going to get to share any scenes though, because you've got Dave Bautista as the Beast Raban. I'm gonna guess Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac is probably. I mean, who's he? What do you think? Who do you think he's been cast as?
Oscar Isaac?
Yeah.
They haven't mentioned it. I thought Oscar Isaac was gonna be like Duke Leto. Either
Oh, I
Duke
can see
Leto,
that.
Duke Leto, or I think he'd probably do a pretty good Stilgar.
Well, yeah, Baron Harkonnen is going to be Stellan Skarsgård, which is
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
terrifyingly good option.
Yeah, no, that's the crazy scientist from the Thor movies.
Yeah. All in all, it looks like it's shaping up to be a pretty good cast. I'm just worried that they're gonna fuck it up somehow by trying to recreate that awful first edition movie that everyone loves because of nostalgia.
I think everything is gonna go completely according to plan. Everything is
I
gonna be
wear a
fantastic.
You just have to wear this Rottweiler shock collar and shout through your McDonald's toy. Ah, that's the voice.
Start the education with you.
No, no. Respect the source material. I don't care how much acid and cocaine you did in the course of trying to adapt it.
There are some people. There's some people demanding Mems. Mems is actually currently asleep. I'm about to go wake Mems back up though, because we do have an adventure that we're doing tonight after the show's over. So,
yeah,
fortunately,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
probably not gonna have Mems interrupting the show tonight. Rather, controversy says, "Drag that robo-peen bike stepdaddy, cloud out archer stepdaddy." What the fuck? Oh,
maybe if you put it to a trap beat, it'll make more sense.
drag that robo-peen bike stepdaddy, cloud out archer stepdaddy. I don't know.
No. See?
No.
I was right.
No.
Stepdad
Eddie Monster
was right
says,
again.
Dune coming soon to a theater near Yoon on a Tuesday. Make sure to get a large popcorn. Oops, I made Jeff say coon. I'm 5 deep into a 6-pack. Help me regain control of my limbs.
That right there was that kind of not to spoil anything, but it kind of sounded like a Tyler the Creator riff.
Listen, Addie, I am not above fucking someone back into having circulation in their limbs. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
It's called
Snow
it's called
camping.
wine-
Snow
it's called
camping.
wines.
Snow camping requires some extreme measures. Sometimes you got to drink your own piss when you run out of water. Sometimes you got to fuck each other to get the blood pumping. Otherwise, your limbs start falling off from frostbite.
It's called Harry Weinstein CPR.
That's right.
Look it up,
Mm-hmm.
peasants.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know your medical procedures, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all you know, it's gonna happen one day. They're gonna be out some fine dining place with like their family or something.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's gonna start choking, and they're not gonna know that they're supposed to put stuff inside their body
Mm-hmm.
to make them come back to life. You know, what are they teaching kids in school these days?
I don't know.
No. So, Dieter, continue to hold. My router won't start now. Yay, then how are you here, Dieter, huh? It's sort of like me putting up a post on Facebook saying, my internet's out.
We're just gonna go on without him. It's fine.
You can catch up, Dieter. We've met. I know you've got a very long stride. It won't take you very long.
He's a man who's got a very long stride, okay?
Mm-hmm.
First things first, though, we gotta probably maybe mention this whole thing.
Oh yeah, this whole thing. That's happening.
Yep.
You can save 10% with coupon code Saints. I'm gonna keep repeating that because that's probably the first and only time I'll get to say that on this show. It's right. You can go buy something using coupon code Saints to save money, and it benefits us.
August 31st in New Jersey. It's the Minds.com convention. It's what happened when Kilroy failed and Mythicist Milwaukee failed, and now everything is under Minds. Hey, look, they didn't tell us how we had to pitch this fucking thing, okay? So I'm going to pitch it how the fuck I want to. So this is where we're all going to go and get wasted, and you can have sex with Nick. So
And actually, well, there's a good chance that'll happen. But the point is actually because our friend Dieter is actually from the area, we can insist upon him showing up for our events, and you can come and pretend that you actually showed up hoping to meet us, and then just shake his gigantic hand when we're not looking, so we won't feel bad.
I like how we always say Dieter is from that area. Like at one point we were talking about like Montana. We're like, our friend Dieter's from there.
He is from there.
From Montana or from Jersey?
With the length of his stride, it's a 2-minute walk. But
to be honest with you.
But yes, and I mean, if you want to go and you can,
we've got to make this a thing, though. We really do. Like next time we have an article coming out of like Singapore.
I think it's around Dieter's area, isn't it? If I got it on good authority, the Chinese are putting a base on the moon just down the street from Dieter Lucum. He's gonna go down and ask them if they need any doodads 3D printed. And they're gonna ask for dicks, and then he's gonna just shake his head and walk away.
Hey, y'all kids like some doodads? What's up?
Yeah, you kids want to buy some doodads?
Yeah, you like some doodads.
But yeah, if you
You
do
can
manage
smoke
to get
crack out of them.
yeah, if you manage though, I mean, this is a place you can go see a whole bunch of YouTube people talk about stuff, only not on YouTube.
And it's gonna
right?
be really boring, but then you can hang out with us afterwards and get wasted drunk.
Exactly. And we can also we can all show up to show the flag. And by flag, I mean you have to print your own flag. We can't afford flags. But print your own flag and bring it and show it in the event. And everyone will know that's where security will be headed towards in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be a good time, though. Nice big meetup. We can have sort of like a caucus in this. Well, it's not skepticism anymore. Is it free thinking now? Is that what they're calling it?
No, I think it's just full blown sucking conservative dick. That's what it's called now.
Well, they're not all doing that.
They're not.
I mean, if that's the case,
Wait,
I'll
shit.
I'll
I'm supposed to
I'll
have
get a
breaks,
side-
aren't I?
I'll get a side shave and say I work for Turning Point if that's like on the itinerary. I'm
Look,
just going to be
all
like,
I know
look,
is-
I'm like Charlie Kirk, only with a full-size face.
All I know is I had legitimately no interest whatsoever in this whole thing, except that I know what it's like when you meet your heroes and their complete disappointments, and so I want to be there for you. So when you inevitably are completely disillusioned and saddened by everything that went down, you can then go get drunk with me, and then we can just commiserate about how everybody sucks together. It'll be great.
Yeah, I've been doing really good with my drinking, and if you would like to come and witness my relapse, well, here's your opportunity.
Slip into darkness with us.
No, in all
Slip!
honesty, I mean, there are a lot of good people who be showing up. I mean,
there
Ruck is
are.
gonna be there.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ruck is gonna be there. He's
We
always
love
fun.
Ruck is great.
Is Derek going?
I don't know.
I think Chris is, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I love Chris. Chris is great. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Chris is still going.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good time. And again,
Let's see, who else going? Karen, we love Karen. Karen's good.
yeah.
Ruck
and I
is
mean,
good.
and then the nice thing is too is I mean, not a lot of anything goes on in the Northeast.
I like Blair.
Ever.
Blair's my boo.
So now, if you're from like the New York area or DC, or if you're maybe from like I don't know, like Oklahoma, Dieter's hood, you can come on by and you can make it. And you can be like, wow, this is what VidCon was like. And we'll be like, no, it's not.
No.
This is fun.
No. My friend Jihadi Jarbo, the leader of Irrational Hatred, mentions that I cried when I first met him. I did.
That's only because you maced him, Matt. He thought he was trying to rape you or something.
Yeah, he maced me and then threatened to crush my skull with a boulder.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I mean, it didn't help that you showed up in like your full leathers, with the zipper mask and shit.
Right.
But
I do want to go.
just-
One of the main reasons why I do want to go to this whole thing, though, is because I do want to meet. My name is Josephine, because I legit love and respect the fuck out of that woman. She's amazing. She's incredible. So
yeah, no, I mean, there's good people there. I mean, honestly, like Lauren Chen, for instance, right? I would probably have a genuinely difficult time finding more than 5 or 10 things that we would agree on.
Sure.
But the conversation about those disagreements, even on Twitter, this is one of the things that reaffirmed my notion that like Lauren's a great person. Because
She is.
a lot of ideas I would regard as dumb, but but when you engage her with it, it's not, like she will never call you a fucking libtard or a cuck SJW or anything like that. She'll call other people that, but that's just Twitter. But no, Lauren's good people. Most of the people going are good people. Most of
Yeah.
the people that are going to be there, I am hesitant to say because it sort of betrays my overall persona, my public image. But I'm looking forward to seeing these people.
Right.
And
right.
and I'm mostly looking forward to seeing all of you who go and buy tickets using coupon promo code Saints YouTube Saints Forever.
I'll be honest with you.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, come hang out with us in fucking Jersey, all right? Let's do it. Let's fucking get. Let's get crazy.
There they speak of the devil. Doesn't exist.
See, we start talking a little bit of shit about this event, and Mythicist shows up. They're like, "Hey guys,
You listen here, Mythicist. This is your stepdad talking, okay?
we're here to
Hold
talk."
hold
about
on. Wait, I
Matrix.
need another
Real quick.
PBR. Okay,
We got in trouble. We're in trouble.
we're gonna hijack your shit. That's what
Okay.
we're doing.
All right.
It's
What are we
gonna
doing?
be Myth Saints, New Jersey.
Myth Saints, New
End
Jersey.
of August. YouTube Myth Saints Forever.
Why don't we just throw the after party, like the official after party, like the after party? I mean, I'm sure like all the hoity-toity fucking special interest people, they're very important
probably be too
people.
hot.
They're all gonna have a little brunch, maybe a little dinner afterwards. But the true after party, we should host that. We should.
Yeah,
host
we'll
that.
bring them all down and we'll bring them into South Philly and see how many we come back with.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll be honest
Well,
with
see, the thing, I mean, and the truth is too, is, I mean, and jokes about Dieter's neighborhood aside, there are a number of people from Philly that are going to be there. People I know. I used to live there. I don't know how much it's changed since then, but it's a town. It's a town that if you set out to have fun in it, you will have a really good time. It's just important to know where you're going. For instance, like if you cross the bridge and you're on the Drexel campus, you don't continue driving west. You stop once you stop seeing university buildings, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's gonna be a good fun time.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so real fast, let's see where we at. Oh, oh my God, we got some spicy shit coming in. Dragon of the West says Oscar Isaac playing Duke Leto feels like an episode of Maury Povich in the making, especially with the kid. When they got to play Paul, the kid is pale as fuck. Just gotta wonder if they're gonna make Josh Brolin speak with an accent for Stilgar. I don't know, man. Who knows? Rather Controversy says skeptics became the web publicans.
Oh, it's not bad. I still prefer free speech plus myself.
You're
but
not really
as you
wrong,
do,
though.
as you do.
Addy Monster says, "Hey Nick, drunk Addy here. Sober Addy isn't around, so let me ask something. Drink sometime, watch some anime, and chill. Doesn't have to get weird unless you want weird. I get doodads. You can stepdad my doodad if you want. Lol makes okay hand sign.
Just trying so hard to keep an absolutely straight face through that so I could answer it, but Addy, are you gonna be in Jersey? Hmm?
Yeah,
Are you gonna use coupon code Saints?
Hey, we're all gonna get our gay card in Jersey. All right, so every single one of you that shows up in Jersey
shit.
with us, everybody's
second, are
getting a
Fane-
gay card.
Are Fane and Pat going?
I don't know.
Okay,
actually,
better question. If they're not, can we shame them? Well, no, not can we. How much time would we need to dedicate into adequately shaming them?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Well, we could manage it. I think going through Fane's probably the easiest way because he's got those tender emotions, and yeah, when they're on camera, they got that dynamic. But we all know, how what a bottom Pat is, especially now that he's got a baby. So it's just like Fane will cry, and he'll be like, "I got too much crying. Fine, we'll go to Jersey, okay?"
That sounds
That'd be great.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, No Tension says, I'd love to go, but sadly, I would only make you guys cry in pure bliss. Oh, okay. Jamie McGonigal, I saw your video in March. Do you want to come dance with me and I can heal your energy, sweetie? Jamie McGonigal. Oh, Jamie McGonigal. God damn it. That's the Angelic Initiative healing girl. That's true. That's true.
I'll be honest with you.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
She's in good shape.
I'm kinda
She is
retarded.
in great fucking shape.
Probably gives one of the best handies you can ask for.
I am legitimately, unironically, hugely infatuated with that woman. I think she's fucking hot as
I'll
fuck.
be honest with you.
Rim, she says, Lauda bona, mala damnant. It has been a while since we've heard the Saints' motto. Here it is in Latin. Indeed, indeed.
We had a
Mythicist
motto?
Milwaukee. I guess so. Mythicist Milwaukee says, "What's up, gents? Been rewatching the Matrix trilogy and it holds up. Best line from Smith: The purpose of life is to end. What would you think if they remade the trilogy? Would it ruin it?" Here's the thing. There is one thing that has ruined the Matrix.
The second two movies.
No. The second two movies actually made it even better, and I'll explain why. The thing that really ruined the Matrix is that people use the red pill as their example of trying to find truth. And the reason why that's annoying is, one, it's overused and it's cringy and it's fucking obnoxious with how many, like, red pill kind of shit happens. But because, more than that, is that it isn't fucking accurate. Taking the red pill did not allow Neo to see the actual reality and truth. What it did was it stripped away and allowed him to see and be bought into another realm of self-delusion and fucking control. Taking the red pill in that context means you're stripping away one delusion for another one!
I fundamentally disagree, Jeff. I would say that the thing that ruined The Matrix was the second two movies, because the Wachowskis in those films managed to take something with a massive budget and lots of hype and lots of juice behind it, and they managed to, at the same time, make it feel rushed and cheap and overburdened with, hey, you know, I read too many philosophy books between sequels. I don't know what I'm doing now. Just Jesus stuff. Here we go. It was like the first Matrix was especially fun, in addition to the action and the pacing and all of that, right? Because it all felt like it belonged there.
Sure.
Like every fight sequence belonged in the story.
The only thing that didn't belong in the sequels was Zion. The Zion parts were cringy and dumb and boring.
No, not just that, but I mean also all like the Merovingian and his fucking henchmen, right? Like there were so many set pieces in those two films, especially the second one, which you could tell were just really cheap excuses for a fight scene. Whereas in the first film, every fight that happened mattered. And it wasn't like, and the other thing that pissed me off too is like it was too fucking clean. So first you get to Zion, which sucked because it's just this like, it's this like massive like tunnel rat folk who turn into the sexiest ravers you've ever seen periodically. But then everything else about it was like clean and sleek and beautiful. But in the first Matrix, what I loved is like, so whenever they're in the city, it looks grimy and disgusting. It looks real and gritty. And like, I mean, you wouldn't have somebody kicking dust into Joey Pants' face in the second two movies because there was no fucking dust. Everything was glitzy, glossy, perfect, wrong. And then the whole progression. I mean, there was fan theories going around that, what is it? The second movie would have introduced characters who were given the powers of Neo by the Matrix to work as collaborators. That's an interesting escalation of conflict. And then they were thinking the third one would be that, yeah, there's some broader control network where it's all just this and that, which they kind of did. But then it was just convoluted. It was like listening to, if you fed a bunch of Molly to first year philosophy students and let them prattle on at the cafe on campus there. That was basically what half of the dialogue to those fucking movies was. So if you ask me, I'm
going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there, because honestly, I'm just tuning out through half of this because these movies are stupid.
The first one was great.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Stop.
I remember sitting in the theater, and when he wakes up in that pod and I figure out what's going on, I'm like, what the fuck?
No, that was great. That was really great because it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. But at the same time, you're never going to re-get that nut. It's impossible. You can never re-get that nut. And making a sequel to that, you are never going to get something that is as good of a nut as that nut. It's impossible. But the thing why I'm stopping you right there is because you're starting to equate this with like how annoying first-year philosophy students might be.
On Molly.
No, look, listen. There's no such thing as a philosophy student that is further on in philosophy and gets better. That doesn't exist. They just get fucking worse. Over and over and over. Worse and worse and worse.
Now here's one last question on the Matrix.
Okay.
How better or worse do you think it would be if the original casting idea of Will Smith as Neo and Val Kilmer as Morpheus would have happened?
Who is Neo? Val Kilmer is Morpheus, but who is Neo?
Will Smith.
Oh, wow. Ooh, wow. Wow. Well, Morpheus would have gotten even fatter. I don't know. I think it probably would have been all right. I think it would have been okay. I think it would have been all right.
I love the fact though that Will Smith turned down the role of Neo in The Matrix so he could make Wild Wild West.
Yeah, well, Will Smith makes horrible decisions in Hollywood. After Earth. As much as I like the movie Hancock,
It was fun. It wasn't good. It was fun though.
Yeah. No, I mean, I enjoy The Matrix and I enjoy the Matrix sequels for what they are. Like, I don't really have anything against them. I really don't. I think they're fine. I hate the red pill meme. I think it's just cringy and annoying and overdone.
Oh no, I mean I kind of like, I do appreciate the red pill meme, at least in as far as like it's kind of like when you see like a Twitter bio that's just full of political hashtags. You get a pretty solid bead right away on where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay, well that makes it easier. I don't have to dig through mountains of like, shitty argument to figure out that you bought into a thing. Okay, cool. Let's move on.
Hey, man, before anybody gets all shitty on me in the fucking chat, real quick, the best kind of people who talk about philosophy are those who have philosophical conversations with people without having to hammer in whether or not you're talking about philosophy. Like, when you're able to have these really broad, existential, interesting fucking conversations without having to be like, listen, I learned in philosophy 126 that blah blah. Like, when you do that, no, automatically, like, no, you suck and you're annoying and just stop. Please just stop. Just stop. But there's nothing wrong with philosophy. Just everything wrong with people.
Diogenes was the shit.
Yeah, Diogenes was the shit. It's just the cringy part is when people are like like philosophy majors and they just kind of make it. They claim that it makes them smarter than other people. It's really fucking annoying.
Well, I just really want to take. I either want to take Zizek himself or somebody who could, like, maybe Jeff Bridges if we give him that kind of like tone and tenor. And I want to write a whole movie about Diogenes where Jeff Bridges ideal. Jeff Bridges playing Diogenes. He could just play it like the dude. It would be great. We could bring Colin Farrell back and he could reprise his role of Alexander of Macedonia, and while he's standing over Diogenes who's sunning himself in a field and says, "What can I do for you?" He could just look up like, "Well, like, you could, get out of my light, man." That'd be cool.
You know what we could do? What we could do is, if Dieter's having trouble being able to access Skype, if Dieter wants to hop into the waiting room
in
the Discord, we could always just do it that way. If he can access it that way, and then he can just hang out with us doing that.
And any of you guys who jump into the waiting room, which is empty at the moment.
Indeed.
Yeah, this is the thing we're doing now, by the way. We're just going to start dragging some of you into the show.
If we have a guest, then we'll drag a guest in, but like, who am I sending it to? I'm sending it to you on your fucking Skype. I guess maybe he has a different Skype now. I don't know. We'll deal with it later. But yeah, if we don't have an actual like legit guest, we'll just drag random people in. Whatever. Right. Eddie Monster says, I would go, but I got to get time off, but $150 is a fuck-ass ton of money for me after they cut my hours. I could maybe afford the ticket, but shit, I don't know about gas there and back. I have a huge fucking ass V8 truck, man, damn, and eats liberals knit cheap. Oh. To Nick, I live in Poughkeepsie, New York. We're pretty close in general. Jable says, I have a new message for Poison the Well. # remake the Jeff video. I know. Word of Demon says, there was only one Matrix movie. They should have made a sequel. The sequels are fine. Just the Zion shit was stupid. Hattie Monster says, one time I nutted twice at the same time. I could feel my spine giggle. I've been chasing that dragon for a decade now. Still, she eludes me. The elusive double nut. And Dragon of the West says, here's some food for thought. Without Keanu Reeves as Neo in The Matrix, we would have never gotten John Wick. It's true. It's true.
That does make it all. And actually, if you've seen the trailer for John Wick 3, they're even like they're giving you all the callbacks you can ask for, despite the fact that Lawrence Fishburne's already in it. Like, what do you need? Guns.
Hey, you like Knuckle of You, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back.
Andy Wade.
Hello.
Hello. Hold on a sec. Well, actually, I'll just because you're here now. Yeah. To answer whatever's question, what's the point of Discord? In our case, the Discord has become a fucking cult. It has nothing to do with us at this point. but no, I mean, it's a place people. It's like any other social media medium, really. I mean, I barely use or understand it still myself, but. Yeah, it's a handy way, and also we use Discord to bring guests in, so that's how it works. How you doing, Nuka? Been a while.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since the Dankula charity stream that we did back then. Sorry, I was very surprised when I got brought in there because you're resident of the Void and he's Zebrist Pope, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I keep forgetting to change that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of borderline trying to start up a cult. When YouTube inevitably the bottom falls out from YouTube, we're going to pick up the pieces by establishing our own religion.
I think it has been. Again, the way I've been describing it lately is YouTube is straight up just it's like British football clubs. It's literally you pick who you like and you support them. You buy their merchandise. That's the person you like. You like what they say. You like what they do. It has no big impact anymore.
That's a really good. No, let me tell you, dude. I think that's a brilliant way to put it. I mean, that's even better than like an NFL reference too, because as crazy as, for instance, Eagles fans might get, they're not as bad as the
old
soccer.
Firm. Celtic and Rangers. If you know about that in our British bullshit culture of fucking street scum.
Well, we got it too. It's just our street scum can't afford sports tickets, so they catch their favorite garage band playing at the bar, which serves their favorite cheap beer.
Although the YouTube game is a strange thing though, because there's definitely times where somebody that you really like starts to do something that you don't necessarily support, and like I found the perfect way to respond to it. This is the best, most politically correct, and safest way to respond to something when somebody's like, "Well, hey, you like so and so. What do you think about them doing blank?" This is what you say. This is what you say when you're caught in an uncomfortable situation. You say, "Well, I wouldn't do it." And then just casually push away from the table and hopefully get yourself out of the conversation. I'll be over here. Bye.
Personally, what I do is I do something similar. I'm like, personally, I wouldn't do that, but I do have a major problem with all those blacks though, and you need to get that sorted. Basically, derail the topic completely to something horrendous, and then go, obviously I'm kidding. Come on, man, what are you talking about? Basically, shake their foundation. That's what you need to do.
Just bewilder them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I mean, I'm kind of reminded of that Russell Howard joke.
I'll be honest with you.
When he's talking about hanging out in New York with his brother, and they see a sign that says, if it's a gas leak sign. It's like, if you smell something, the worst thing you can do is nothing. And he's thinking, well, you could light a match. And his brother's like, you could fuck a dog. Yeah.
Oh, Russell Howard. Do you know about Russell Howard? He's kind of one of our minor comedians that's been around for a long time.
Well, I mean, he had a Netflix special that I caught.
Well, I watched that though, and when he started doing his whole Trump spiel, and honestly, I was always on the fence with Trump, and since he's like, oh, I don't know what WikiLeaks is, I ain't pardoning Assange. He basically is dead to me since then. It's like, it's what made you faggot. You know, the corruption of your fucking entire government, and like you're just like, oh, it's got nothing to do with me anymore. And I'm just fed up watching Netflix specials where they're like, oh, by the way, did you know that Trump is bad? Hey, my boys. I'm just fed up with it.
Well, my thing with that is like when it comes down to like like stand up, primarily, right? But comedy in general, if it's gonna like, I mean, when it's such a meme to focus on Trump, right? Or you know, whatever big celebrity politician is out there grabbing headlines now. That's just like, it's like every other joke. If it's a funny joke, like if it lands, I'm cool with it. If it doesn't
Played
land,
out.
and it's just like,
Most
and
of the
it's
time
not
it's played out.
yeah, oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, I think part of the problem here is too is like the good jokes for the most part have been told, unless you're like doing the late night show style thing where you're just picking up on jokes you can make off of whatever the headlines are, which you know, and even some of those like those are like hit and miss on their own.
The other thing about Russell Howard is he does very sort of juvenile sort of jokes because he's very cute with the way he goes about things. He was never like Frankie, like because both of them used to be are known for originally being on Mock the Week, the British panel show, which is where Frankie Boyle became famous for his incredibly offensive and nasty jokes and what.
So you're telling me that? So you're telling me though, as somebody who's like gradually getting into things like QI, thanks to David Mitchell, for instance, that there's another show I need to find?
You've never watched Mock the Week?
Never heard of it.
You must have seen a collaboration or whatever where you've seen Frankie Boyle when he was still good. Before he sold out, you know, when he has he has his show Frankie Boyle versus the World or whatever it is. When he's get lit, his panel consists of like 5 women, and all the women are like, "It's really terrible being a woman," but of course there's one brown woman, and they're all like, "Oh no, but of course being a woman's not as hard as being a brown woman." You know, and it's I just want to die inside. You know, it's pathetic.
It's a funny thing because, like, I mean, like I've like, especially since and admittedly hyper amateurish, right? Like my promos and the sketches and jokes and shit that I write, super amateur, base level shit, fine. But I mean, I made a point of like talking to anybody I know who has any kind of a comic background, just because the more I got into it and more I tried to do it as an art form as it is, the more interesting I found it. And so I'd talk to Fat Pat, for instance, and that guy, if you get him talking about comedy as a process and as an art, he will not shut up. Randomer Cam gave me like just terse advice, like if you're gonna perform live, do it drunk. If you're not confident, do it more drunk.
I love Randomer Cam. Fucking, I'm so sad that algorithms been fucking him as of late, but oh god.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, he also got fucked because of the whole like tribal fucking like drama scene bullshit and all that.
What, the Bloodsport shit? Well, nobody really cared. Like, there came a period of time roughly after the Bloodsport shit. The algorithm on YouTube went really.
Oh no,
really
I don't. Oh, I don't doubt that. I'm just saying also because, like, you know, when you've got those hate squads, like those, like, you know, the kids who think just like going around and being shit.
No, you can't talk shit about.
Oh, he got it so bad though. Like we had him on as a guest here, right? Cool. And then we got fucking flooded with people just trying to make a particular edgy boy YouTuber.
Who was
this? Their favorite when
Random Cam.
Oh,
remember that?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, we got brigaded to fucking back, and it's funny because it doesn't even really matter. Like the dislike ratio doesn't mean shit anymore, really.
Yeah, who gives a
fuck?
But
all that matters is if you've got enough dedicated people that will give you money.
Yeah, we'll just continue watching. Ideally, I mean, but it was funny though because like if you look at Jim Jeffries, right? Jim Jeffries' old shit, he was all about skirting the line of what's decent and acceptable. He was like.
Just correct my memory. Is that the Australian guy?
Yeah. He's a super woke Australian guy now.
I don't like him anymore. Like fucking when he's sitting there talking about like basically saying Trump's like Hitler, and he's like, you're comparing him to Hitler, and he's like, oh, give him a chance, and I'm like that is the most moronic shit I've heard in my fucking life.
Well, that's kind of the point I'm kind of stabbing at here, is because it's funny, like when you find these people who do like, especially if they do mixes of like if they do stand up or they do sketches and stand up or whatever. When a comedian really blows up, it's like that fame trap, because all of a sudden you're a big money property. So I have no doubt when it comes to people like the fucking, you know, Jeffries is a good example, right? Or fuck Kevin Hart. When you get that big, all of a sudden you end up building this big team of professional managers and shit around you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you get that, you've got them constantly telling you to like, oh no, you don't want to push these people away. You don't want to push these people away. This is what's trending. This is what's big. And it's an act of selling out, really.
Like,
I mean,
honestly, well, a lot of people, even like the best comedians, I feel like you need to have a Trump joke in there. It's obligatory. You need to have at least one. Like Kevin Bridges, who's a Glaswegian comedian who's been really hot lately in the past few years with the stuff he's doing. He's a young guy, probably about my age. Well, maybe a bit younger than me, but fucking he does excellent stuff. I highly recommend Kevin Bridges.
I'll be honest
But
with you.
even he, his latest tour,
I'm kinda
still had to have a joke in there about Trump, basically comparing him to like the shit he says is like that of a fucking Glaswegian taxi driver. You know, like fucking sitting there going like, "Oh, me pal, you know what I'd do? I'd build a wall," and it's just like, mate,
You know-
gonna fucking just gonna leave it. It's done. The earth is barren. Gonna fucking stop.
yeah. I mean, that's the problem. Is like, there are barely any new jokes left to be made. Now, I like to think like I'll put Trump jokes and shit in my ticker lines down below, right? But only if I could find them funny. If I find them funny, it's good enough for me.
No, obviously, if it's funny, it's funny. But at the end of the day, like, when you're forced to, like, dig in the shit, there's no gold there. There's no gold in the shit. It's just shit. It's done. All the good stuff has been taken. We are done. We need to move on.
Right up until you. What the fuck is no? What? Fuck.
Like, and going back to like Russell Howard. Fucking like when he's talking about it, and then he's talking about the Queen. The Queen is going to give him a knighthood, and then she's going to cut off his head and go, because nobody grabs me by the pussy because I'm the Queen. Oh, oof, dab.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that part, if that part of his set falls flat, like when I watched this special, I was genuinely entertained throughout most of it. And there's like,
I got to that and I shut it off. I actually put the thumbs down, and I'm just like, oh, fuck off. Fuck off. It's embarrassing at that point.
One thing I can say that I'm kind of semi-grateful to have seen evolve is actual conservative comedy. And I'm not talking, I mean, I don't find Steven Crowder particularly funny. I think Dennis Miller has gotten slightly better over the years because he had a hot run on YouTube or on HBO for a while where I thought he was hilarious when I was young. But it's, it was so dry for the longest time. And now the saddest thing is because these liberal comedians, right? Who traditionally like own the market, not because, bias or anything, but just because the mentality in the past was such that lent itself to jokes easier. Everyone's so wound up now that it's impossible to really find that much really good kind of lefty humors often anymore.
Have you noticed how much the black people are like, oh, I didn't know I could make jokes about trans people. Did you know that slavery was a thing? And whatnot, and it's just talking about how like, basically trans people are treated worse than the black guy nowadays. And I can't remember who it was. It might have been Dave Chappelle. It might have been Chris Rock. That's probably racist me saying that.
Well,
but
that's the thing.
I was binging Netflix.
Well, right now, that's the thing. Right now, the old guard in that sense are starting to come out. Like, I mean, Kevin Hart kind of folded, but that's also because like he has changed his mindset and perspective, and he made the mistake of apologizing rather than just leaving it at that. But I mean, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, they're all coming. I mean, fuck, Chris Rock was banned making Jussie Smollett jokes at the Spirit Awards, and that didn't fucking stop him.
The textbook example of this sort of shit for me has always been in one of Chris Rock's old shows. Is basically when he talks about the appropriate time when any white person can say nigger. And it's when you get mugged on. Sorry.
Oh, well, I mean, we've had a few hits on this channel, so we are trying to keep it. But fortunately, your internet dropped out at just the right time.
Sorry, I didn't know. I couldn't say
No,
that.
no, it's fine.
I apologize.
No, you're good. No, you're fine. You're fine, man. No, you're fine.
No, but basically, he says when it's the appropriate time to say the N-word, and he says it's when you get mugged on it's Christmas Eve, you're out there buying a present, and then some black guy jumps you, beats the shit out of you, steals your child's present and runs off. And while you're lying there in a broken heap, you lean up and you point and you say, "Somebody stop that N-word." And that's the only time you can do that. He then goes on to say, when you're in traffic and then there's some guy in front of you and you're waiting for the lights to change and the light goes green and this guy's sitting listening to Ain't No Hollaback Girl or something like that, and it's stuff there. And he's not moving, he's too busy dancing away to this shit and Ain't No Hollaback Girl and I Ain't No Hollaback Girl and all that nonsense and whatnot. And then it's appropriate, and then it is perfectly okay for you to call him a faggot. And I'm like, wow, Chris Rock, I'm glad you have the authority to tell us when we can and can't say things.
Well, here's the
like
thing
that.
here's the thing that's most important about these types of situations. I've been thinking about this a lot over the past few years because, I mean, you know, I was part of shitposter Twitter. I was part of anti-SJW, edgy boy, that kind of shit for a long ass time. And I still have a lot of love for where I come from, a lot of love for the people who, you know, I was friends with and making videos like that. I still believe what I always said back then, which is you can say whatever the fuck you want. You absolutely can. There are no rules that say that you are not allowed to do this or do anything that you fucking want to do. But the thing is that over the course of the past few years, when we've been so hardcore fighting for the right, the freedom of speech to say whatever the fuck we want, we, along the way, some people, I'm not saying you or me or a lot of people, but some people got this idea in their fool-ass fucking head that just because we're fighting for the right to say a thing means that we're fighting for the right to say that thing and nobody can tell us that we're wrong or we don't have consequences for saying that thing.
No, obviously,
Yeah.
and I get your clarifying that for the audience and stuff like that.
Because the thing,
obviously, Dankula again is a good friend of mine, so obviously I'm well versed in this. Obviously,
sure, yeah,
you know,
and I love Marcus.
Not freedom from like social consequences. Obviously, like basically, if I run about going N-word, faggot, blah 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 blah. Right. Then obviously people can disassociate with me as much as they want. They can deny me jobs or this, that, or the other. But what happened to obviously Dankula is absolutely atrocious. But I was pointing out there is when Chris Rock, big old fucking insanely rich celebrity, can sit there talking about when it's appropriate to say the N-word, but at the same time basically going, perfectly okay to say faggot when I decide. And I come up with that, even though I don't have any history of the oppression in faggot. And again, you know, like the reason why it's called the name is faggot, which some people say, I don't know if it's a myth or whatnot, but I've had a few people and certain girlfriends tell me it's because faggot is the term they used when they used to burn them to death.
No, entomologically, that's bullshit. That's totally bullshit.
No, but some people believe it.
Yeah, well, some people are fucking idiots.
Stupid.
They're not. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The thing that's, if I could design a world, I would design a world where, you know, context really doesn't matter, and we do take the time.
You're not allowed to, Jeff. You're white.
Well, wow.
You're white.
Listen,
and
you're right. I am white, so I shouldn't be
else.
talking about designing a world because I am white. That's very true. But I'm saying like if I could design a world where we did listen to every context of something and judge people on this context, I would absolutely do so. So obviously, like, I support Marcus and I love him. I think he's a great fucking guy. But also, the thing, though, that we really have to be realistic is if somebody understands the rules today and they willfully break them, like, you can celebrate the fact that they're breaking them, but you also can't really let those people who then willfully break them claim victim status, because that's pretty bullshit. And that's the thing that we're, like, on the verge of right now, and that's what I'm kind of wanting to mention to people. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm not trying to say anything or make a stand or anything like that. All I'm saying is if that right now we understand how this goes and you willfully decide to spice it up and this society responds how you know that they're going to respond. You can't really act like a victim. You can only say, this is an example of why it's wrong. But you can't say I'm a victim. You can just, because you knew it was going to happen. You can only go at it. You can go at it from the.
I get a grasp of what you're saying, Jeff.
Right. You gotta be an activist, but you can't be. You can play the activist. You can't play the victim. For the people
listening at home.
Yeah.
Do you think Dank is a victim?
No, absolutely not. Well, hang on. I would say the first instance that really dragged him into it. Yes, I would. I think there was every reasonable...
The victim that defines basically everything about him that went on for years and years and years.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll offer this. Well, I mean, let me offer this, right? I think when it came to the prosecution, the state coming down on him the way it did, absolutely. Sure. I mean, and in a way that was, I'd say it was a good watershed moment, at least for the notion of the thing. I'll say that, like, how it's evolved, and especially how, let's say, significant amounts of disingenuous opportunists have seized upon the opportunity to exploit what happened to him as a means of it. Not so much. But one of the things that I continue to respect about Marcus, on Jeff's point, right?
Sure.
Talking about, consequences and all of this.
No, I agree with Jeff. I think Jeff's a good guy.
Well, no, more than that, I would like to expand on it in that sense. It's this notion of, okay, like, there are a lot of people out there who, when they see that, like, other people have a limit, and then after that they're triggered, they're upset and such. Right. There are a lot of people out there who just see crossing that line as worth doing just on its own sake, and then afterwards it's like, oh, you can't, freedom of speech, right? Like, well, yeah, but then when the people who are upset with you aren't trying to take that away. They're just trying to tell you that they don't like you and go fuck you for what you said. Fine, but it's the people though, the ones that I like, right? Like, take like a Doug Stanhope. Stanhope has no problem crossing any lines or boundaries, specifically because he's not just ready and aware of what will come afterwards, but he's fully prepared for it. To not just double down on I'm an edgy guy, but to really, like, continue making jokes about it and to continue actually genuine. And Marcus does the same thing. That's one of the things I really like about the guy is he genuinely does that, because when he crosses a line, I like to think at least more times than not, he's well aware of what he's about to do, and he's well aware of what's gonna come back his way, and in the course of doing it, he does his best to handle and manage it.
The way I'll frame it is like what happened with him, the initial situation, the way he got smeared, the way the courts treated him, that he was unfortunately a victim, but I'd rather not paint him as a victim. He's a survivor. He went through it. It was unfair. It was unjust. Now, how Dink then chooses to deal with it, like, for instance, he did a sketch recently with Buddha that was kind of like a communism sketch that he did.
No, it wasn't Buddha. It was his the new puppy, Bronson.
The
black one.
Yeah.
And it was Black Power.
That's right. Here we go again. Electric Boogaloo #2. And he fucking, like, started laughing. I loved it. Yeah. But, like, at that point, it's protest. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's protest. It's activism. It's totally fine. But it's a different dynamic.
Well, it's clever too. That's what I mean.
And it's clever, and I love the dude. I love him forever.
Yeah, no, I just think in general, I think a part of the problem, and I mean, it's a funny thing because we are starting to see it now with this emerging right too, where it's this sensitivity identity thing, where if it's not Canada Owens, it's
the fact is, like, originally this was framed around, like, hate speech and stuff like that, and obviously they couldn't find any proper example of him being done for hate speech, so they had to try and
because he's a good
play
person.
Him under being grossly offensive.
Which
is why they gave him the £800 fine.
Oh no, even with all that though, what I'm saying is what I like. One of the things I've liked about him though is that as he's continued trying to make jokes, of course, he's a sound guy. He's a good friend of mine. I like him too. My thinking though is the value of it isn't that, and this is what I've kind of hated seeing is that. And you're starting to see this kind of dynamic emerge on this, like, polarized left against this, like, hypersensitive right, where they're screaming, "Say Christians" and all this shit. But what I like about Marcus's approach is that when he comes up with that follow-up spicy joke, right?
Mhm.
Like the first litmus test for it is it funny? It's not will it trigger someone? Like his stand-up set, that stand-up set, I think he did it in London, right?
Yeah, the
That
one
was-
about communism.
That was
fun.
fucking, and the pacing and shit too. I was watching it and I'm like, okay, I've never seen Marcus do stand-up before. I know he's done it
I
a bit.
showed it to my dad. My dad thought it was hilarious. My
Oh, yeah,
dad is currently writing a song called "Call Me Pinko Faggots."
It was good. It was good because
Hey,
it was funny, it was sharp, and it was well paced.
I'm staring at the time, and we gotta scoot over. We gotta grab some Dieter Lucum here for a little bit. We gotta get to the news.
Yeah,
But
okay, it's been good talking.
Yeah, we haven't talked to you in a while, man. It's good to hear from you.
Yep.
Jeff, have we ever spoke? I
Oh,
know
yeah.
I've been on a lot of old Sargon things and fucking
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
places
you
and
and
layman
me,
stuff.
You and me.
The
I
dog's
want to
layman.
say it was probably like late 2016 and 2017. You and I hung out probably 3 or 4 times, I think.
Did we? Oh my god! Is it, sorry, the dark times coloured.
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. No, around the first time I ever hosted This Week in Stupid, because I hosted it 3 times.
Fucking respond to my DMs then, you asshole. You
Dude,
never have. You can't, because I keep thinking he never responds to them. He probably has.
I
no
never,
idea.
I never respond to any. I'm the worst. I am sorry. I apologize. I'm a dick.
Nick
Yeah.
does though. Nick I can get in contact with because Nick has character. You know.
That's high.
All right.
That's high.
Later, buddy. We'll talk to you again soon. All right.
Yeah, no problem. I'll pop out.
So I
Somebody.
just followed
Have a
you
good
back too. So hit me up then. Yeah, and for the record, for
I'm so
everyone out
bad.
there watching right now, like as a co-host, if I have to get in touch with Jeff about something about the show, I usually tend to go like a triple attack. First, I'll hit him up on Skype, then a Twitter DM, and then a text message, just to make sure
Yeah.
he's aware.
There's like actually very specific people who have my text, my actual phone number, specifically for when I don't respond to somebody, and they could actually text me and be like, "You are being a
Oh.
dick."
Okay, I thought it was just because we were such good friends, but okay, that's
Well,
fine.
no, they are also really close friends. You're like one of 3 people who has my fucking phone number.
Mm.
All right, so real quick. One Canuck says Saints cult, best cult, drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, no Trench says Nuck. I throw this money just so I could say I love your amazing accent. My Minnesota hick pales to you bows. Mythicist says, what was your take on the Wild Wild Country? Was the Rajneeshpuram cult bad, or were they egged on by bigots against all cults? But that was weird. Rajneeshpuram is actually a really, really strange one. The further you dig into it, the more you realize that they were legitimately trying to take on the federal government in a way that seemed bizarrely out of place. Like they assassinated people. They assassinated government officials. Why would they do that when obviously they weren't going to get away with it? So, I mean, I like there's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding it, but who knows? It's a weird one. My buddy Donnie says, I'm here now. Just got back from a game, lost 14-3 to a team we should have beat, had 9 errors, which is why we lost so badly. Cheer me up, boys. We will do our best. Larry Kubiak with the 25 bonuses. I'm down to my old funny videos folder at this point. Don't know what I'm trying to accomplish by keeping on sending these. My tank is on E, and I'll keep driving till I hit the ocean. So enjoy this bit of silliness. Should we watch this with Dieter or before we get Dieter?
Well, let's watch this with Dieter, and then afterwards we can suspend discussion about it unless it's really good, and then actually do this news item because I got that one just for you, Jeff.
Dieter, my buddy Dieter, he's so sexy, Dieter. Ooh, Dieter.
Hello?
Hello.
I hear a distant siren singing.
That's right. That's the sound of pure sexiness. I'm gonna send you a link to our My Circle. Everybody, welcome to the show, Dieter Lucum.
Hello,
You're
people.
gonna go crash yourself into some cliffs there, huh? See, that's right. I took a humanities class once. I know how that works.
That's right.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he says half the time when he opens his mouth.
In truth,
Sorry for the
nearby.
technical difficulties.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
fine.
That was completely unexpected.
we all have tentacle difficulties now and again. Dieter, don't.
Well, I
Good for
don't
you.
know much.
I mean, I don't know how difficult they are for you. I kind of got used to it.
Oh dear. Oh my god.
I gotta laugh out of Dieter with that at least. Fuck.
It's not difficult.
It's like no, I was half expecting to say that was pity, but you know, take what you can get.
Why is this thing?
So-
Why is my Chrome apparently not wanting to show up now? That's really terrible.
We had a foul-mouthed Scotsman on, so Google has decided it's gonna give you every 404 error it can find.
I guess so. What the fuck?
Does Google have something out for the Scots?
Who doesn't? I mean, maybe.
I kind of. Yeah. That's fair. Okay. Well, what I might have to do then is I might have to do it a little bit like this. Do you have that My Circle open?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Am I allowed to read the title? Because I really want to.
Yeah, you can read it out. That's fine.
No, it's. Do you speak English? The Big Train, BBC comedy.
Yes, indeed.
What?
Oh no.
What have you done?
I don't.
Why is this happening?
Well, there it is.
Okay. I got this.
Because we got paid some sweet monies.
We got paid all of the delicious fucking choice caramels of truth. What am I talking about?
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness.
Truth caramels
Yeah.
of truthfulness. They sound
Yes.
truthful.
They got a nougat center too.
I love caramels.
I like nougat.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
proud of
shit.
both of you.
I have to play this from the other window.
I'm so proud of both of you. Here's some glitter. Make something pretty for your parents when we go home.
Wait,
Excuse
so
me?
am I your
Sorry,
teacher? I don't.
Yes.
Everybody has roles. I just need to know where I slide in.
It's like that George Michael song, Dieter, you know? Right now he's racking his brain like, I don't know any George Michael songs.
Huh?
No, but the first thing I'm racking my brain
Never
about
wanna
is
dance again. Careless whisper's got no rhythm, though it's easy to pretend. You know I'm not a fool. Should've known better than. What?
Play the video.
Oh, right. Sorry.
I got paid.
Do you speak English?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Oh.
Man, half of this
my
is just me
car's broken
staring
down
at the
and I
screen,
wanted you to tell
expecting
me
for
where
some
to find it.
explanation to emerge. But nothing's
Are you
happening.
watching the My Circle?
Yeah, but it didn't start yet.
Why not? It should be. It started playing for you, Nick, didn't it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Nani?
I'm refreshing.
More of those technical difficulties.
Nandeska?
Loading. Please wait.
Okay. Okay.
It's still doing it.
Should've known better than to dance. Well, it's not playing right now, so we're.
I just find it funny. It's that difficult. It's that difficult to convince Jeff to go to karaoke when we're at a convention, but he's got no problem sitting in front of 100 people with no musical backing, singing his soprano nasal version of George Michael.
Yeah. When you sing by yourself, then you decide what everything sounds like. Karaoke has a crazy structure of proper background music.
Is it playing now, Dieter?
Excuse me?
Click the play button,
Excuse me?
says
Sorry,
the chat. Thank you, chat. You're very helpful.
Is it playing when I click the button or what? Is it playing for you?
Yeah, it's playing. Did you pause it?
Yeah, I just paused it.
Yeah, now play it again.
Do you speak English?
Yes, it's playing.
No, I don't.
I
Sorry.
understand things now. The world makes sense again.
My car's broken down, and I wondered if you could tell me where to find a garage.
Well, you know, that's wasted on me. I don't understand what you're saying.
You don't speak any English at all.
Not a word. No. It's one of
That's
those things
Simon
where I wish I
Pegg.
paid more attention in school, but
I'm thinking they both actually speak English.
I think
No,
that's
that's-
Simon Pegg.
Yeah, that's Simon Pegg. That's a
That is-
young Simon Pegg
100% Simon
Accomplishing-
Pegg.
accomplishing his dreams much earlier and much younger than any of us could ever dream to.
That's one of the 15 actors I actually know the name of. So this is good.
English? No. What's the problem?
I don't know. I can't understand it.
Hi, my car's broken down, and I need to find a garage.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't understand that at all.
All right, well, thanks.
Tell you what, if you go down that way, about half a mile, there's a village. There might be somebody there that speaks English.
Ich speak ein bisschen Deutsch. Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Deutsch, nein. Sprichst du Deutsch?
Deutsch? Nein, nein. Nun, ein oder zwei Wörter, aber ich bin nicht fließend.
God damn it.
That's excellent.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry
Just
about
seamlessly
that.
transition.
Hey, you never know. Next time you're over, maybe we'll have learned a bit of English for you.
Ja, oder Deutsch vielleicht.
Ja, das wäre toll.
Thanks anyway.
I can speak English.
So can I.
Shit.
What? That is so good. And it's good for all the stupidest reasons.
That's pretty
Yeah.
great.
That's fucking British comedy in a nutshell.
In a
Yeah.
nutshell, what am I doing here in this great big bloody nutshell? Oh, shut up.
Walked into a shop the other day. 14 stitches.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to rip off Hugh Laurie because
All right.
he's way too successful.
Time
to-
for
to-
some
to-
news. It's time for the news, everybody. Time for the Saints news break.
Get professional.
News.
U.S. measles outbreak triggers quarantine at 2 Los Angeles universities.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
What?
Oh wait, no, this is the one. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I was not reading the headline.
You literally wrote the sheet, you cunt bag. Okay, anyway, so Los Angeles, a nationwide measles outbreak has led health officials to quarantine dozens of people at 2 Los Angeles universities, officials said on Thursday. I don't know why they are
The horse.
wrestling a horse in this picture.
Doctors
Horse-
are overcoming morphium addiction.
Listen, horse wrestlers are most at risk for catching measles. It's just the nature of the job, you know.
Mm.
So astronauts might be lost in space. Horse wrestlers might contract measles. You don't know. Things are complicated. Life doesn't come with safety helmets. The quarantine affects the University of California, Los Angeles, and California State University, and comes as the United States battles the highest number of measles cases since the country declared the virus eliminated in 2000. The United States has confirmed 695 cases of measles, the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention said on Wednesday. Many of the cases occurred in the states of New York and Washington. California has confirmed 38 cases, state officials have said. People are getting the pox. They're getting the mees of the bees.
Aren't you guys excited? We get to get back to that classic sort of Darwinian thing about those who don't survive. Never had a chance. It's good stuff.
Listen, measles breeds character. Okay, this is the
Yeah.
truth of it.
Well, it's it's like that ticket line I wrote that the new anti-vax mom movement is to host pool parties where they can all play the game Marco Polio with each other in a standing body of water. It'll be great. It's good for America.
Standing body water. It breeds character, open sores, horrifying death and pain and terror.
Well, I wanted to ask you. So you've been dealing with a lot of the religious people lately. What does the Bible tell us about the historiosity of the measles outbreak? Is this the pox from the end of times?
Well, clearly you recognize my expertise in the subject, and I appreciate that.
I do.
I have no goddamn idea.
I for one,
But I could venture to guess
Yes, please.
that if you get sick and die from such an abhorrent situation like this, you clearly did not pray enough, and if your kids die, it's your fault. But not for the reason you think.
I'm just thinking to myself sitting here, and granted it's rolled up, but a white sleeve button-down T-shirt and a tie. If I had a name tag calling myself brother something, I could probably answer that question 10 times better. I'm gonna actually. Well, yes. I hope you're all ready because one of these days I'm gonna show up on this show looking like a Mormon. So it's. This is a great thing. I mean, well, it's one of the things Hitchens said that I always used to love is that religion is an apocalyptic cult. It's all about what happens after you die, and it's all like the big books are almost always about what happens after the world ends when everything's going to be just fucking peachy for those who read the right books.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, well, I mean,
did you read these books?
Well, here's this is
It's like 100 years of horrifying fire and death. It's like, oh, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Not that long.
All the
Not that long.
super good ones already drifted away. It's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the funny. Well, it's a sick kind of thing when you think about it, though, right? Because like when you get like the super religiously orthodox anti-vaxxers whose children die of easily preventable diseases, what do they usually quoted as saying? Well, they're with Jesus now. Yeah, it's kind of like when you hear like ISIS people saying, "Oh, well, yeah, we burned all these kids to death, but they're with Allah now. It's all fine." Oh, okay. So this just gets you out of everything, does it? Because I mean, goddamn. I mean, I'm fucking full on board if I could justify doing literally any awful thing, and know that I get to go to heaven.
It's one of those weird things about some religious beliefs that, in the back of my mind, like I tend to just kind of roll with whatever someone says they believe, and I work from there. Like that's kind of it seems like a more stable place to start in a conversation. But the back of my mind, I always wonder. It's like, if you have a fear of death, then how can you possibly actually believe in a happy afterlife? Like, I don't understand how you could miss people when they're dead, how you can do like any of these normal human things if you actually believe as strongly as you say you are. Some people actually do, and that's goddamn terrifying. But for the most part, it seems like it's still very normal for people to miss their loved ones and not want to die.
I feel that. I feel that. I feel that.
I saw a comment about looking like Jesus in the chat, so I felt I'd just pull the Christ out of me.
Look, okay, so while this show has been going on, Macaulay Culkin has been live tweeting about a Space Jam.
Our show? Oh.
No, about
this is
Space
significantly
Jam.
more important, so go ahead.
And he said they even made Lola Bunny's number a 10. Get it? Because she's a 10. The makers of this film really want us to fuck a bunny.
I retract my previous statement.
I think he's right. I think he is absolutely right.
I think we need to send Macaulay Culkin the director's cut of Zootopia so he can double down on this notion of it's a bunny, but it talks.
Yami Dotenshi says, Dieter, am I woman? Do I exist? Please tell me. Yami has been trying to get your attention all night, actually.
No, I was done with her. Yeah, Yami's jumps into my streams on a fairly regular basis now.
Okay.
So it's nice person.
She's very sweet. She's a vile temptress.
It's my video I just put out today. It's all about masculinity and why I goddamn hate that phrase. And this guy from 3 years ago, he put together a video, and it's like, it's so convoluted how these definitions change that one of Yami's comments is like, am I a woman? I don't know. Like, does femininity it gets very weird.
Excellent.
Now we go.
Wrath of Controversy says, y'all should do Saints the Musical with Chris Raygun. He's a pretty busy man, but I mean, I'm always down for some musical.
Yeah, do you really think he has time for anything I'm involved in?
I'm game. I mean, I have a voice that can shatter glass from a great distance.
Hang on, Dieter, with that notion though, with the notion of can you say like, you're a mean one, Mr. Saints? Huh?
You're a mean one, Mr. Saints.
That's pretty great. That's pretty amazing, actually.
I think we're on.
I actually dig that song because I can do that.
Yeah, you see, I pick up the good book. Granted, it's all in Hebrew and it's backwards, but that doesn't matter. God is with us now. If God is with us, who could be against us?
You literally have a Jew Bible.
Yes.
You see, this is why when I don't actually watch the stream, I get very confused.
He has a jubal.
A jubal. It's a jubal.
What the fuck?
It's not the only Bible I have, but it's the Jewish one. It's the Old Testament where God's like, well, I'm going to fuck you with a giant octopus for what you've done. By the way,
God is an insecure, emotionally 16-year-old girl.
It was the first edition.
I've read those parts.
Yeah, It was the first edition where he where he spent a lot of time. He spent more time trying to convince people to snip the bits of cocks off. But when there was genocides and rapes and slavery going on, he was like, oh, listen, I've got baby dicks to deal with, okay? You can only have so much Yahweh.
He says this in a snarky fashion, but that's like how the book is written.
Yeah, I know, right?
This isn't a joke.
I'm toning it down here, people. Oh yes, China. By the way, now if so we spent all this time talking about Jesus and all that. China plans to build a base near the moon's south pole. This is part of their new Silk Road initiative. China plans to build a scientific research station on the moon in about 10 years, according to the state news agency.
Have they been working on this for the last 100 years?
Well, I mean, that's just been that really big ladder they've been working on. But then they're like, well, maybe this isn't a good way to go about it.
It's like I'm being hyperbolic, but it takes a long time to. That's an ambitious project.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they've been working on it for a while anyway, and it's kind of funny. But yeah, so the China National Space Administration (CSNA) intends to build a research station in the region of the moon's south pole. Zhang Qijian, head of CSNA, they really need to add another vowel just so it's easier to say.
That's
said in a public,
not how languages work, but all right.
It's how English speakers work with languages. Just give us more vowels, and then we can say the words you're speaking. But yeah, details of China's long-term plans are still sketchy. But CSNA has made significant steps towards lunar exploration. Earlier this year, the Chinese successfully landed an uncrewed Chang'e 4 on the far side of the moon, and have also placed astronauts aboard two temporary space stations, Tiangong 1 and Tiangong 2. This is fucking...
Really?
Yeah. Did you hear about that?
No.
No. Their space agency also has plans to put a larger, more permanent station into orbit in the coming years. The fuck? China's got its own goddamn space stations. Now, it does kind of get sad because they do say that the International Space Station is reaching the end of its lifespan. And it was funny because I do remember some years ago, though, hearing about, China really wanted to get more space exploration going on. And it was funny because, there were a number of people I saw who I was talking to about this saying like, oh, they didn't like it because it's China doing it and we should be doing it. And I agree we should be doing it. But at the end of the day, I really don't give a fuck what nationality gets mankind into space as long as we get there. Am I wrong with that? I think Dieter's gone.
No, I was reading the chat. What did you say?
Oh, no. Well, no, my point was so if it turns out we put the first man on the moon, right?
I know, any further exploration is fantastic.
Doesn't matter who does.
I would be interested why people are doing it.
Well, this is
it's more of a curiosity than anything, because I think a lot of people just do space exploration literally to prove that they can, and I honestly have no problem with that.
I think it's a little bit that, but I mean, here's the interesting thing is because the new president, he's pretty much a president for life in China now. He's he's trying to construct these huge trade routes to basically overtake and dominate international trade. He wants to make China the big dog, and establishing a lunar base would go a long way in pursuit of that aim.
I would be impressed.
My mind would be blown if they could actually get something like that into space.
Oh.
Have it fastened to the surface and have it actually function without it going disastrously wrong.
But Jeff, did you know that the Chinese have 2 temporary space stations up in orbit right now?
Yeah, I did.
I had no idea.
I had no idea. That was such cool news.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. They're not fucking around anymore. That's one of the so there's this friend of mine, kind of a hippie guy, and for the past few years he's been telling me, he's like, listen, man, it's not like terrorism or all this that you gotta be worried about the Chinese, man. I'm like, no, shut up, dude. No, it's not the Chinese. No, it's not. And then he showed me fucking articles of them making temporary space stations. He showed them to me a couple of months ago, and I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Oh, my God. Maybe you're right. Holy shit. Maybe we do need to be afraid of the Chinese. Holy shit.
Wait a second. What if this is the bridge to that future of Firefly that we live in, where everyone speaks Chinese for no reason other than Joss Whedon thought it would be fun?
I think I thought they were speaking Korean.
No, they're speaking Mandarin.
Which Mandarin? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, wasn't that just because it's like, what are some of the strongest economies in the world right now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, I mean, it's a funny thing is Mandarin is the most spoken language on earth, I believe, and English. The only reason it's in one of the reasons it's in the top 3 is because, like, I think a third of the fucking 3 billion people who live in China speak English fluently.
China number 1. China number 1.
There are
Number
more
1,
Chinese.
that's number 1. China number 1.
There are more Chinese that speak English than there are Americans, but that's just pure math.
China number 1.
I won't be surprised, honestly.
China moon base number 1, and I hope they name it that.
What the fuck is this goddamn article? I swear to Christ.
Oh, is the next one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Back to the public health shit.
All right, here we go. This is back onto we got our finger on the pulse, or maybe the dick of the world with this one. Brazil's president says 1,000 penises amputated every year due to bad hygiene. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro Bolotai said 1,000 men have their penises amputated in his country each year due to a lack of basic hygiene, a number he called ridiculous and sad. Sad.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I would describe that as. Christ.
Yeah, if you can't wash your dick, like if you never learned to wash your dick to a point where they needed to remove it from you, maybe Bolsonaro's bragging about this and they just misinterpreted it, and he's been watching Game of Thrones. He's like, we have a nation of viruses.
In Brazil, we have 1,000 penis amputations a year due to a lack of water and soap, the far-right president told reporters Thursday in the capital. We have to find a way to get out of the bottom of this hole. The former army captain did not specify the source of the alarming number, but a spokeswoman for the Brazilian Urology Society said the figure was based on official data for penis amputations, which were necessitated by untreatable infections along with cancers and complications from HIV. The president said his government must work with vulnerable men to alert them to the dangers of unhygienic behavior. Bolsonaro has waded into sensitive topics and made controversial statements before. In March, he made the headlines after tweeting a video showing one man urinating on another during a street festival in Brazil. "What is a golden shower?" Bolsonaro tweeted after posting the video, in which a man was seen taking a leak on the head of a scantily clad partygoer. Bolsonaro, who was inaugurated in January, once said he would rather his son be dead than gay and told a female colleague she was too ugly to rape. Now listen, here's the thing. I gotta be honest with you guys. In this, apparently the Brazilian Urology Society say that there is penis amputations from untreatable infections and complications from HIV. You know how many dicks get chopped off every year in America?
Oh, please tell us, Jeff.
Probably none. Maybe 1 or 2 from uncurable dick cancer.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you were going to give us like 2,000, and it was just going to be a mind-blowing, like, why?
Chat. It's
Please
like, wow.
explain why.
We learned things
probably
tonight,
none.
Peter.
That's
good.
It's probably
I prefer that
none
number.
or close to none.
Chinese space stations, dick amputations. I feel like I've grown as a person tonight.
Thankfully, most people don't have a reason to have their dick chopped off unless it's either elective or like half of it was already consumed by a bear. Okay? So you're probably fine. You're probably fine. I don't know why Brazil has a rampant, I would say at this point, this is an epidemic of dick disease that causes them to start lopping off fucking cocks everywhere. I don't know why. But I'm starting to think doubt. Maybe doubt?
Just turns into some, it's all resulted from some urban legend where like, yeah, man, no, the thing is if you cut it off, it grows back even bigger within 6 months.
Bad hygiene. I have known people who didn't take a shower for like 6 years and their dick never came off. They never had to have their dick cut off. What is wrong with Brazil?
These are all very important questions.
If I was a man and I was born in Brazil, I would fucking leave. No. If I stay, my
If
dick
you learn
might
this,
have to
you
get
mean?
cut off.
Yeah, if you learn this, it's like, it's like you do the math. It's like, well, it's still like a 0.003 chance, but I'm not risking that. I like this thing.
And some people are saying that maybe that Bolsonaro is talking out of his ass. Well, that's even worse. Why is this man wanting to scare all of the men out of leaving his country? And like, okay, there's two options. Either one, this man is making up a bunch of bullshit and he wants to scare all the men to never pulling their penis out and get the fuck out of the country anyway for fear of them having to get their dick cut off. Or two, this man is so inept at running a fucking country that he's constantly getting dick infections all over the fucking place and people gotta get their fucking dicks chopped off. Either way doesn't bode well, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing?
You know what it is? You know what this is? This is the Brazilian version of Just Say No, except instead of anti-drug, it's pro-hygiene. So it's like you just have some guy like it's all in Portuguese naturally, but he throws the salami down on this cutting board. This is your dick. This is your dick without a shower. Chop.
Oh, that was unnecessary imagery.
I would fucking wash my dick 3 times a day.
Bolsonaro says
that
clean
commercial
your
played.
dick. Clean your dick.
Yeah, if that commercial played every day, like imagine like the school children coming home and like new national policy because they're super Christian, like abstinence only education. We're not going to teach you how your genitals work. Just don't use them until you're married. Right. They get home and then they sit down. They're watching their Brazilian Ninja Turtles, and they're eating their Skittles and shit. And then all of a sudden one of these PSAs comes on like, "Hey, young boys, did you know you have to cut off your dick if you don't take a shower 4 times a day?" This message brought to you by the Brazilian Department of Public Health.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, man. This is how we do it.
I genuinely do think it came down to he just watched so much Game of Thrones and he's like, I need an army of viruses to advise me as to how to cut down the rainforest.
Okay, so this next thing that we have on the lineup is something completely different.
Bring somebody else in. Had people waiting.
Wrath. Let's bring Wrath in to hang out with us. We haven't talked to Wrath in fucking forever, man.
Well, I have, but
I haven't talked to Wrath of Controversy in fucking forever.
Do I know Wrath of Controversy? I think I do.
Oh, hey.
I know people.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Not a lot, man. Sorry, just figuring out my push to talk more.
Oh, it's all good. No, Wrath of Controversy. He was around way back when I first started getting started with YouTube, hanging out in all the fucking late night hangout, socialization stuff that we used to do back in the day.
I miss that. I miss those pages of like random people arguing.
Well, that was before we all got strung out on all the really bad drugs, and some of us went off to fame and fortune, but inevitably we all ended up in the same chemical sewer together. So here's where we are.
It's
now.
true.
Yeah,
I put most of my chemicals there.
Oh god, I fucking miss the old days. When like before everyone really started picking sides, like when the skeptic community was actually people who wanted to talk about things and not fucking like flag for some rando third party or basically turn into tradcons.
Well, listen, listen.
Respect.
I do kind of understand it. It's kind of like the social politics you have between members of a crack den, right? Everybody's vying for the top, and everyone will backstab the other. But instead of like trying to plant the bad dope on a rival, you're just trying to smear the other with some sort of controversy in front of hundreds of thousands of people. But otherwise, it's exactly the same.
Wait a second. I got real quick, Jeff. Look.
What?
I'm a Force ghost. Continue.
God damn it, Nick. See, that was the joke I was trying to make earlier, actually, and I didn't word it well because beer. Sorry about that.
This is the thing. Things change and things turn to suck. And there is an upside to all of the good old days being over.
Yeah.
Which is now like fewer people are surrounded by fake people. And we know who the basket cases are, who, you give them an ounce of, opportunity and they will turn into the Hindenburg.
And we have all discovered a reinvigorated love for ramen, creative ramen dishes.
And not only that, we're taking back skepticism,
just
guys.
let them talk.
Back.
Just let them keep talking.
Yeah. That's how it works. Dieter knows how it works. If he wanted to shut me up, he'd just have to take 3 steps out of Philadelphia to reach Manchester, and then he'd be here.
Well, I mean, I'm not
This is an
saying
accurate
Dieter's the tallest man alive, but like, I'm pretty sure you're what, a 15-minute walk and a brief swim to Singapore, right?
Pretty much.
Yes.
Pretty much.
The man strides. He strides.
Dieter, yeah, Dieter makes pogo sticks out of deep sea oil exploration rigs. That's right. Just...
So actually, spoiler alert for all the Game of Thrones fans. It's gonna end with the Colossus turning out to be Dieter and walking from Bravos and taking out the Night.
Ooh, nice.
This is also accurate.
Oh wow, damn, that's good. Damn.
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
I think most people probably even forgot that there was actually a Colossus in Bravos, but yeah, there totally is.
Oh, the broken sword.
Yeah.
And it's
we are nerds.
I am also aware of fantasy elements.
Well, no, it's a good thing though we have Dieter here, because honestly, like from the memes alone, if you have any kind of discussion and Game of Thrones comes up and there's not someone to say I don't watch Game of Thrones, it's not complete.
How long until I
It's true.
Can I ask, Wrath, Dieter, I want to know, how long is the customary time before you can start talking about spoilers of something?
It depends.
That's actually a really good question.
That is a really good question.
I kind of say it just depends on the group you're with. Like, if you mean just like the internet, then I would just kind of shy away from spoilers, because there's going to be somebody who's more sensitive than others. So I just kind of
be a broad
hands
one,
off.
though. Like what? Like 3 weeks?
See, my rule of thumb is for theater is so films, it's until it leaves the theaters. For a series that's available via streaming service, 3 weeks from the release of the event that's a spoiler.
Well, here's the thing about
Unless specifically asked.
With the film, though, like the Titanic was in theaters for like 16 months. Now, granted, there's not really a whole lot of spoilers in the Titanic. I mean, if you're spoiled by finding out something about the Titanic, like there's something wrong with you. But still,
Jeff, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't tell him what happens to Jack.
Okay, well, you know
what happens to Jack?
No, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to spoil it.
It's sort of like
he's such a beautiful painter.
Well, it's sort of like the people. It's sort of like the people who were like,
"You're gonna cry, Dieter." I'm sorry.
It's like the people who actually fell for that, like, you know, when those tweets and memes were going out, like, you know, oh my God, production has been announced for the sequel to Rogue One, and you saw some people like, what date's gonna be? Like, oh dear, okay,
yeah. It's like Rogue One. It's like one of my friends got upset that part of Rogue One was spoiled for him. I was kind of like, okay, literally the entire plot of Rogue One is in A New Hope. Many Bothans die.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I'd say
there was
like
no Bothans. There was fucking no Bothans.
Well, I didn't.
That's because they're Bothanists in Hollywood. They actually refused to hire.
Yeah, they hired a bunch of Tatooineans and put them in Both face. And then, you know, it was just all downhill from there. I mean, when it comes to like Infinity War, for instance, right? I had that shit spoiled way before I saw it. I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't catch it until it came out video on demand. And then I happened to sail into a particular bay which had it, and I said, "Hey, old friend, how are you today?" But you know, I mean, like it's one of those things. Like if you can't guarantee you're gonna go see it in theaters, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks is what you would hold off on in terms of making the jokes, like the spoiler jokes or that kind of thing, or discussing it publicly, if you gave a fuck, which most people don't.
I mean, in that sense, I'm good with a week, honestly.
I'm kind of retarded.
Like, I'm fine. I'm planning to see Endgame with some friends on the 30th. So, like, this is going to be an interesting weekend.
Look, all right. Matt Jarbo, who has been trying to run his fucking mouth trying to tell me all sorts of shit about fucking Star Wars and trying to tell me I don't understand Star Wars, just said Bothans were spies for the second Death Star. Jesus, dude, get it right. You know what? Do you want to know what Bothans were? Bothans are a race. They're a race of dog people. They're a race of fucking dog people that have been in the fucking Star Wars canon for fucking ever. They're dog people. It's a fucking race. It's dog people.
And they are the best boys in the rebellion.
They are the sweetest boys. So don't come at me trying to tell me that it's just the name of some spies. No,
guys, don't
You
fight.
Jeff Yarbrough
Guys, you can't fight. Picturing you two in a fist fight is just too weird.
the dog people. Dog people. There was even a Bothan Jedi.
I want to see this fight actually. Like, let's throw on some boxing gloves. Obviously, you're the referee Peter, because you can outreach either of them.
I'm gonna go take a piss before this joke. I'm gonna go take a piss before this joke about YouTubers fighting each other takes its natural course. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't know what these creatures are at all.
See, Bothans are proof that the Empire is evil because they murdered the best boys in the universe.
Oh no, absolutely, and that's actually something that is very real and very canon. Is that the Empire is extremely racist. They are very speciesist. There's a reason why predominantly the Empire is nothing but
I'm kind of retarded.
Humans, whatever they passes for humans in the Star Wars universe. But no, like I keep getting fucking tired of this shit with all these fucking wannabe Star Wars fans coming at me trying to tell me how they think they understand Star Wars, and you don't even understand. You don't even know. You don't even understand the fucking history behind it. And I'm over here being like, look, your movies are shit. They are. Most Star Wars movies are shit. They're crap. Because you don't even understand how good your universe is. You don't even understand how wonderful the world of the Star Wars universe actually is, so you just accept these pieces of shit that people try and pump down your throat from corporatist bullshit. Crap. It's crap. Last Jedi was crap. The fucking Force Awakens was crap. It's garbage. Fucking trash, dude.
Jeff, this is what happens with any universe that gets too big.
No, this is what happens to any universe that gets bought by a fucking shill army called Disney.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I
gotta say, I just think that I think Arlnauts had the best take with their new Kylo Reacts video. He sees that brand new droid and he's like, "What's up, new merch?"
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I think Arlnauts has the best take in general, man. I love their shit. Those guys are amazing.
Oh yeah, well that was my first thought when I saw the Porgs in The Last Jedi. I'm like, oh hey new fucking Beanie Babies. I guess, does Disney own Beanie Babies now? They must. If they don't, they will soon. That'll be great. And it's like, yeah, it's like, what's up, new merch? It's like, what the fuck is this droid? Why? We have enough droids. There are enough fucking droids. There are enough, like, there are already too many characters as it is. I don't like most of them. I don't need new merch. I don't give a fuck. Like,
also,
great.
Like, what the fuck with BB-8's personality? Like, BB-8 is literally a puppy in robot form. And it's fucking stupid.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a fucking AI. What the fuck is it doing? I mean, it's as dumb as that whole, like, robots' rights thing in Solo there. Because, like, the one thing I love about, every Star Wars commentary when they look at the prequels, right? I love I think Red Letter Media did it best. It's like, so now the princess is going to thank this piece of equipment? That's what they are.
Somebody's trying to come from
Thank you, giant trash can.
Thank you, giant trash can.
Somebody's trying
Thank you, magic trash
Somebody's
can.
trying to come from me in the chat being like, who's Darth Sidious then? That's the fucking Emperor. That's Palpatine. The fuck?
Yeah, the fall of Darth Tyrannus is literally him telling his autobiography without telling anyone until the very
end.
Right,
Darth is Darth
Plagueis?
Plagueis or Plagius? Yeah.
Plagius, Plagius is his master. Tyrannus was Plagius's master, I believe.
I think you might be right. I haven't. I don't remember that well.
Plagueis
so
was
right.
Sidious's
Yeah, the fall of Plagueis like when he's telling the story, which is honestly, in my opinion, the most underrated sub-narrative of the prequels.
That's one of the best parts. That scene. That scene is one of the best scenes in all of the prequels.
Well, the scene where like he connects it and actually basically tells him without telling him, but like throughout, wasn't it 3? He basically tells him bits and pieces of Plague.
Yeah, well, they're at the opera.
Well, not just the one scene. Like it was the Mace Windu out the window scene is when he kind of like when Anakin connects the dots.
Yeah, I think like you definitely could have made the connection that he already knew at that point. He was already too far gone. But I mean, that's one of the best
I think
parts
he was in denial. I think maybe that's when he accepted the situation. Maybe that's my thing.
I just love how Rhino in the chat's like, the whole series was supposed to be about the life of 2 droids during a war. It's like, yes, their romance, it was born of fire and bloodshed. And this crass trash can and this prim and proper golden scarecrow found love where none should exist.
All right, Plagueis. Yeah, Plagueis was the master of Darth Sidious, which was the emperor. I'm trying to figure out who was the mentor to Plagueis, but I don't know if it actually mentions it.
Who comes up with these names? Because they have like the best job.
I don't know. Some of them are pretty fucking stupid, though.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I think that was honestly some of Lucas's best writing was naming some of the old guards.
But some of these are named.
Like, hello, my son Tyrannus. Right. I'm sure you'll become a school teacher.
Darth Maul.
Right. No. And like these are named like by a 14-year-old. Like, and the main Sith that caused the reformation of Force-sensitive Siths was Darth Bane. And you're like, dude. Are we gonna cut ourselves behind the fucking gymnasium and smoke cigarettes next?
Well,
in fairness,
yeah, pretty much.
Hang on. In fairness, though, let's keep in mind that if this was from the mind of George Lucas, what that also means is that it was the same guy who decided to like, hey, I'm gonna make these prequels. I'm gonna make it's like poetry, so it rhymes. I'm gonna make a merchant guild of Asian-sounding fish people, and then I'm going to give another character, it's going to be this really flying Jewy insect guy who insists on owning things.
All right.
Lucas wasn't exactly subtle.
I'm running out of time here, but I want to send this to Rather Controversy. I'm gonna send you a message in Discord so you have access to the My Circle. We're going to watch something completely different.
Yes.
By the way, Jihadi Jarbo totally fucking bitched out and totally is not talking any more shit because obviously he knows I'm the superior Star Wars fan. Come at me. Any day, any time you want to challenge me, you step up. Anyway.
Should we tell Jeff that he skipped over one of Matt's messages?
I'm kind of retarded.
Shh.
No, it's fine. It'll be fine.
We probably should.
Hi, I'm Lifted London. This is how you make a Tyler, the Creator song. First, start with a shitty piano and pick a fucking chord. Next up, record the audio of you playing the piano, pitch shift it up a little bit so the audio quality kind of is ruined, and then just add the drums. You've got the bass riff, you've got the piano riff, you've got the drums, except something's not right. There isn't an out-of-key synth that is nowhere near the original key of the song.
I'm sure where this is going.
There it is. Now, the background vocals normally have to be some sort of semblance of you talking in a...
Because we didn't really introduce this. This is on Twitter. I think it's Left of London or something. I found this today. If you're a fan of Tyler the Creator, this is pretty apt as to how Tyler makes music.
Huh.
It's very true.
Down voice saying fuck yeah shit and that's it. Now it's time for the lyrical content, which normally revolves around violence, made-up words, hating your father, and not being gay, definitely not being gay. I should probably take this down for this video. And then when you finish it, it should sound something like this.
I don't do shit for the clout. I'll beat a bitch in my Audi. Fuck up my deadbeat dad if he decided to call me. I got $1 million on me. Blew a couple of thou. I should win me a Grammy. Floopy gloopity glammy.
That really hurts my fucking voice. Holy shit. Tyler the creator's old stuff is considerably different from his new stuff, so I'm probably not going to do the Flower Boy era just because I don't really care for it that much. Just kidding, I do and I will. First thing you add is the guitar. Then add bass, then add really Mac DeMarco-ass effects to both the guitar and the bass. After you add some drums, make sure to add some MIDI strings and some melodic synths for the breakdown. Now, the lyrical content is going to be different here because the Tyler's sound shifted dramatically between these two eras, but this is mostly because his persona went from a homophobic psychopath to a lonely gay man who made the Grinch soundtrack. Does that sound right? That doesn't seem right. So the verses are just about how sad and gay you are, relatable, and then you have some white person, me, sing the chorus, and then you're good.
My loneliness don't subside. One day I'll be fine, provided I meet somebody in time.
What the fuck?
This is so good!
It's not the girlfriend.
And I want to just cuddle up.
I gotta wait.
Dick to suck. I made me a couple beats. That made me a couple bucks. And you are my everything.
This is the chorus now.
Yeah. You are my girl. Oh.
What the fuck,
Okay.
dude? Shit,
What
that's
the absolute
fire.
shit? That is crazy. She is so talented. Okay,
Yeah,
rock
yeah,
paper
yeah.
scissors. Nick, Jeff, rock paper scissors. One of you is getting on Patreon, so I can support this.
Oh my god, right? Holy shit.
Wait, what?
No, I fucking love this shit. This is amazing. Well, look, I gotta
drop a link for that creator. I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Hey, she's gonna get all the revenue from this video.
Probably,
So
yeah.
that's fine.
She is oh fuck, here. Her Twitter is left at London. Left at London on Twitter.
And if you happen to be a men's small who lives in the Seattle area who is looking for a fabulous glittery suit, she has one for sale. Hit her up on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. Wrath of Controversy and Dieter, we both love you guys, but we gotta say goodnight to you guys.
All right.
Yeah,
All right, man. Thanks for having us on. Like it was a lot of fun. It was nice talking to everybody.
Yeah,
just got IRL shit to do.
I gotta go pick up the babysitter here in a second. But good night, guys. We love you. Go subscribe to Dieter Lucum. Wrath, are you still making YouTube videos?
I'm circling back into it. I just moved and haven't got my setup done, and my green screen is.
Well, subscribe to Wrath of Controversy too. Send me your YouTube URL just in case I don't get a chance to grab it like right before I leave, and just like Discord DM it to me. We'll put it in the link in this video. Cool. All right, later, boys. Bye.
Later. Oh.
All right, so catching up real fast, we've got.
Jeff has encountered a fatal 404.
Yami says, so if China makes a moon base, are the materials going to say made in China, or are they just going to know from all the lead in its paint? Oh, Jesus Christ. Dragon of the West says, if the Chinese got a base on Luna, then we go to terraform Mars and Venus. Also, Elon Musk needs to found the Martian Congressional Republic. Agreed. Yami no Tenchi, I should have known it was Dieter when I saw that tall ass. Badum-tish. Anime Moon, hey Jeff, I retweeted you something from Mr. Beast on Twitter. You might want to take a look at it. I will check it out later. Jable says, have you noticed that the past few weeks the main show has been followed the same energy as the pre-show? It's like they watched the show or something. Check out the Lesser Saints of Discord. Indeed, indubitably. Yami says, yes.
What energy, Jables?
I don't know.
Sorry, continue.
Yami says, yes, thick Star Wars daddy. Yeah. Dragon of the West says, Darth Tyrannus is Count Dooku, a.k.a. Dracula, a.k.a. Saruman. Jeff, how do you feel about the Clone Wars TV show? It was good. It was really good, actually.
I think I enjoyed Rebels slightly more. Not to talk shit about Clone Wars, but
I don't know which one I like better, to be honest with you.
Well, they're different stories, because in Clone Wars you have this big story about a war with central characters, and then in Rebels it's all about the characters.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. I feel that.
Was that Justin Wang?
Shush. Yemi says, Thick Daddy, if you need a smile, I went and found some good Thawne quotes for you. Excellent. Anime Moon says, I'm with you on Star Wars, Jeff. Love the classic expanded universe. No, I'm not calling it fucking Legends. Keanu Reeves or Darth Revan, bitches. Fight me, XR Kun represent. I'm with you on that shit all the fucking way, dude. Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan would be fucking amazing.
It would be nice to see a true dramatic actor who isn't killed off in the first few minutes of The Force Awakens.
It really would.
Sorry.
No, I would be 100% down for that shit. Like, that would be great.
But they're just gonna end up casting John Cho anyway.
Well, I hope not. Does it have to be a thing? Does it absolutely have to?
Well, no, the joke there was that for the longest time, everyone wanted Keanu Reeves to play Spike in a Bebop movie, but now it went to John Cho on Netflix, who I'm sure will do a great job. John Cho's a good actor.
He's good.
But you should have gotten a Jew. Hi.
And Larry Kubiak with the 50 bones says, I give up on being funny for tonight. Instead, I'll just show the new tune from my boy Wang's new band track. I bounced to this all week. Play it if you want, Ken. In any case, much love, Jeff. And this is what we're going to play ourselves out on tonight. We love you guys.
By the way,
so much.
I forgot to take off my skinny jeans, which I didn't feature in Stepdad promo. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dad. Well, we love you. We'll see you Wednesday for the midweek, and then 1 week from now, right back here. We've been your YouTube Saints. Let's listen to a little bit of fucking Jinx as we say goodnight. Bye, everybody. Go fuck yourself.
So what's back to the lake, and all I gotta do is imagine every division. What's up, no? I'm gonna find out. You think it was too good?